A major change to the P-47 strafing run in the Air Support Center, or ASC, in patch 1.2.2 differentiates it from the Special Operations Strafing run, where the two strafing run abilities were the same prior to the update. What are the differences between the two strafing runs, and how would the changes to the ASC affect the gameplay? To answer these questions, let's delve into how the strafing run behaves in-game. While the P-47 strafing run from the Special Operations Battle Group remains unchanged, there are significant changes to the ASC strafing run. The patch indicates that the ASC strafing run does not miss the infantry in the suppressed state. Its damage decreased by 10 per shot, and the rate of fire decreased by 4. So, how do these changes translate in-game? To answer this question, we need to know the two variables that determine the strafing run's damage, the hit rate and the target's armor. First, let us look at the hit rate on units. In general, the units with larger size would take more damage because the planes could land more shots on them, meaning the larger target would take more hits. An infantry model would take 2 shots from a strafing plane or 4 shots from a double shotty run. However, the hit rate is different when strafing on the light vehicles. The Special Operations Strafing could land up to 10 shots per run on a light vehicle, whereas the ASC strafing could only land 8 shots due to the decreased rate of fire. Regarding the armor and penetration, the strafing run always penetrates a unit with armor of 15 or lower and deals full damage, meaning there are differences when strafing a target from the front and the rear. Now that we know how the strafing run deals damage, we can get into the damage numbers and the amount of damage we can expect from the strafing runs. When strafing on the infantry, the ASC planes deal 80 damage per run or 40 damage per plane. On the other hand, the strafing run from the Special Operation deals 60 damage per plane, totaling the damage to 120. However, the battle group strafing could miss the infantry when they are suppressed, resulting in the damage to be approximately 90. While the average damage of 80 and 90 are not far apart, the Special Operations Strafing has the potential to completely wipe out an entire squad because its damage could go over 100. In contrast, the ASC's damage is fixed at 80, and this becomes a lot more important when strafing units that cannot be suppressed, such as anti-tank crews and the flag crews. Things get more interesting when it comes to strafing the light vehicles. A light vehicle model is larger than an infantry model. The vehicle takes more shots from the strafing planes, and this is where the rate of fire decrease significantly affects the total damage of the ASC strafing. Referring back to the patch note, the ASC's strafing had its damage and rate of fire decreased by 33% and 20% respectively, which translates to a 47% decrease in total damage from 300 to 160. On the other hand, the Special Operations Strafing still has the same 300 damage per run. For context, medium tanks have 120 damage and tank destroyers have 160 damage per shot, making the strafing run a very viable option for dealing damage to light vehicle. When strafing a unit with more than 15 armor, the strafing damage is significantly reduced because the penetration rate is less than 100%. The Special Operations Strafing run is also a decent option when strafing the fortifications. The strafing run can deal a significant amount of damage to the SS bunkers. There are a few exceptions. Sometimes the planes have a higher fire rate than what they normally have, which allows them to deal more than 300 damage, but it rarely happens. Another exception is the tractor. The Special Operations Strafing could land up to 16 shots, which is 6 more shots than the other vehicles of similar size. Due to its effectiveness, Relic should change the Special Operations Strafing flag color from yellow to red. For those who don't know, the flag color now represents the threat level of a coin, where yellow has the lower threat level and the red has the higher threat level. In summary, the Special Operations Strafing run deals around 60 to 120 damage to the infantry with an average of 90, and it deals around 300 damage to vehicles and structures with 15 armor or less. It is by far one of the best ability in the game. This concludes the video. If you find this video useful, give it a like, and I will see you in the next video.